let's just dive right into this explainer because what we're looking at today is, well, it's pretty shocking. We're talking about the reverse movement and how it might literally be the key to saving your mobility.
Think about it. We spend our entire lives moving in exactly one direction, right? Forward. And we absolutely believe it's keeping us healthy. But what if the very movement you rely on every single day is secretly setting you up for a catastrophic loss of mobility? I mean, are those highly repetitive forward steps actually just allowing your legs to slowly waste away? Are they unknowingly paving the way to a walker? We're always told that walking forward is this ultimate cure-all, especially as we get older. You know, it's safe, it's low impact. But guys, that repetition is exactly the problem. When you just walk forward, you are literally grinding the exact same joint surfaces over and over, while the vital muscles around them just go to sleep.
And the data on this is wild. There's this shocking truth out of a University of Massachusetts study. They've found that walking 10,000 steps a day for 6 straight months leaves your legs virtually unchanged. Let that sink in for a second. 6 months of dedicated effort, hitting that 10,000 step goal every single day, and your leg muscles barely any stronger. So why is that? It's because walking forward just lets your body coast. Your muscles aren't being forced to fully stretch or contract. They get incredibly lazy, and when your muscles get lazy, guess what happens? Your bones and joints are forced to take the absolute, punishing brunt of that daily grind. Every single step is just slowly wearing away the padding right there in your knees.
So here's the trap laid out plainly. Walking forward lets your body's engine basically take a nap. Your hip flexors, your glutes, your hamstrings, they just don't fully engage. But stepping backward, okay, sure, you might look a little ridiculous to your neighbors out in the driveway, but this bizarre, highly unusual movement forces those sleeping muscles to wake up in a total panic. Because your body just isn't used to moving in reverse, literally every single muscle fiber has to fire just to keep you upright. You're taking this joint-crushing, repetitive grind and instantly flipping it into an extreme muscle awakening challenge that forces your legs into a full, powerful extension.
And the results of waking those muscles up? Absolutely explosive. A University of Oregon study actually revealed a staggering 30% increase in leg strength from just 15 minutes of backward walking 4 days a week. 30%. Now, compare that to a downright pathetic 5% strength increase for the people who were stuck in that forward walking illusion over the exact same time frame. They got 6 times the strength gains just by throwing it in reverse. This isn't just some minor tweak. This is literally the difference between struggling to get out of a deep couch in your 60s versus springing up with total ease.
We've got this stark data from Calgary and Wisconsin that proves exactly how this reverse movement acts like a literal rescue operation for your knees. See, your quadriceps, that's the front of your thighs, and your glutes, your backside, these are your knee's primary shock absorbers. When you walk backward, your quads are forced to work 40% harder just to control your descent, and your glutes, they fire 50% harder to stabilize your pelvis. So instead of just coasting along, these massive muscle groups are suddenly forced to work constantly, and that wraps your fragile knee joints in this thick, powerful layer of armor.
And man, the awakening really doesn't stop there. Studies out of Florida and British Columbia show the rest of your leg joining the fight too. Your calves start burning with 45% more activation because they actually have to control your entire foot pressing backward. Your hamstrings on the back of your leg are finally challenged to stretch through a full range of motion. This total leg awakening stops joint deterioration totally dead in its tracks. Why? Because you're finally forcing the surrounding muscles to carry the heavy load of your body weight, instead of just letting your poor knee bones grind together in absolute agony.
Which brings us to this, frankly, terrifying reality for anyone who's ever felt that sudden, sharp pain while walking down the stairs. When your knees grind and pop, standard medical advice usually tells you to just rest, right? Ice it. Avoid doing whatever hurts. But here's the thing. Resting just accelerates the muscle wasting. It's a completely vicious cycle. You rest because it hurts, so your leg muscles wither away from lack of use, which then leaves your knee joint even more exposed, leading to even more agonizing pain, completely devastating your mobility. You simply cannot rest your way out of joint decay.
So the really crucial takeaway here is that by walking backward, you completely bypass that entire vicious cycle. You shift the stress completely off the painful grinding bone and put it right onto the muscles that are practically screaming to be used. A landmark University of Delaware study proved this. They showed a massive 50% reduction in knee pain for adults suffering from severe knee wear and tear. 50% less pain! And that was just by spending 10 minutes a day walking in reverse. No surgery needed, no endless bottles of painkillers. They just needed to shift the burden from the bone back to the muscle. Now, this rebuilding process goes way beyond just muscle. It taps into something called proprioception. Because you obviously can't see where you're going when you walk backward, your body has to activate its own internal radar. Your inner ear and your spatial awareness systems are completely forced into extreme overdrive. You're taking away the easy visual crutch that your brain usually relies on, and you're demanding that your body literally feel its way through space.
And the way your brain adapts to this survival stress is just breathtaking. A University of Zurich study proved that this bizarre movement actually rewires your brain. Like, it physically changes your neurobiology. They found a significant increase in the gray matter density of the specific brain region responsible for your balance and coordination. Just let that sink in for a second. You aren't just building leg muscle, you are literally growing the balance center of your brain. You're making it thicker, faster, and more robust so you can regain that total youthful body control. The visceral, real-world result of all of this brain rewiring is a 40% improvement in balance in just 4 weeks. And that's according to a University of Melbourne study, a 40% upgrade in your sheer ability to stay upright. That makes you terrifyingly stable. And just think about the stakes here, guys. A single fall can instantly rob an older adult of their independence forever, forcing them into full-time care. So by walking backward, you are drastically lowering your risk of becoming dependent on others. You're basically bulletproofing your body against gravity itself.
Okay, so how do you actually do this without, hurting yourself? To execute this life-saving protocol safely, you've got to follow these absurdly simple steps. First, you need to find entirely flat, smooth ground. Think like an empty hallway or a local track. Second, and this one is absolutely critical, you must resist the urge to look down at your feet. Keep your eyes up so your internal radar can actually do its job. Third, walk at exactly half your normal speed. This is all about muscle tension, it's not a race, so really slow it down. And fourth, naturally swing your arms opposite to your legs to lock in that core balance.
But please listen to me carefully here, because your brain is entirely unaccustomed to doing this. You gotta treat this setup with extreme caution. This is a massive neurological challenge. You must clear the room of every single obstacle behind you. No pets, no rugs, no coffee tables. For your first few sessions, keep one hand hovering right over a wall or a sturdy railing. If you can, grab a spotter to be in the room with you. And above all, never, ever push through dizziness or sharp pain. Your body is basically waking up from a decades-long forward-walking coma, so you've got to give it time to adjust.
Your long-term independence is literally on the line right now. Every single day you only walk forward, your joints are grinding away, and those vital stabilizing muscles are just slowly going to sleep, which leaves you with one incredibly urgent choice to make when you get up from your screen today. Are you going to continue the comfortable daily grind and let your legs slowly waste away? Or will you embrace this bizarre 10-minute challenge, step backward, wake up those sleeping muscles, and permanently save your mobility? The direction you choose to walk today might just determine exactly how you walk for the rest of your life.